Alright, fight fans. I'm EJ Boxing Live here with Chris Kaban, Ben Umar, and UK Boxing Blogger. Right, we're gonna discuss UFC 182, John Bones Jones versus Daniel Cormier. So this is gonna be our prediction video, and boy, we got a lot. It's gonna be a heated subject because a lot of us over here have like got a lot of opinions. So first of all, yeah, I'm gonna go with Ben Umar. Ben Umar, who you picking and why in this fight?
Okay, we were just talking about this fight before we decided to make this video, and UK Boxing Blogger said John Bones Jones, he's from the state of New York. I'm sure you're supporting him. And normally that would be true, but in this case, I can't stand John Bones Jones. Something about him rubs me the wrong way, and I'm a Cormier guy. And I think that Dan Cormier, with his wrestling, and being as though when he came up through Strikeforce, undefeated mind you, at heavyweight undefeated. He beat a lot of guys that people want to gloss over. Now he's come down in weight. He spoke about it, saying that it was a struggle for him to get down to 205, but he's got there. He's comfortable at that weight, and I think with his strength, because you remember how he was throwing heavyweights around. He was just throwing heavyweights around like they were little guys. This little midget motherfucker, man, just throwing heavyweights around like little guys. This guy is powerful. He's strong. He's got good hands, but his wrestling is immaculate. And I think he can handle John Jones, and I think we're going to see John Jones get his first legitimate loss. I know he got the one loss for the disqualification against the deaf dude. I can't remember my man's name, but when he was hitting the deaf guy on the ground, they disqualified him. I'm sure everybody in this line knows about that because we're all UFC fans. But he's kind of like Roy Jones when it comes to the fact that he got disqualified, and that's the only loss they can give him. But I think Dan Cormier is going to give him his first legitimate loss, and that's my opinion.
All right, thanks for that, Ben Umar, Boxing Terrorist. You can check him out on Twitter. I'm going to go with Chris Kaban. Chris Kaban, who you picking and why?
I'm picking John Jones. I think John Jones wrestling is underrated. You know, he was NCAA champion in college. So he can wrestle too, and plus they locked up on stage, and he put Cormier on his ass rather quickly. I think he's gonna damage Cormier when they stand up and take him to the ground and pound him and beat him up easy. I think John Jones fought better fighters than Cormier on his resume, but Cormier is a good young legitimate champ. That's the dude gonna give him problems. They say he gonna give him problems, but I don't see that at all. I think John Jones gonna stop him.
Alright.
Via knockout.
Thanks for that, Chris Kaban. You can check him out on Facebook. We Eat Sleep Boxing. Yeah, one of the most popular Facebook groups on Facebook. You can check him out, and also YouTube. Alright, we go to UK Boxing Blogger. Who you got? Who you picking and why?
First of all, I'm gonna say John Jones is my guy. I love the guy. I've been buying his walkout T-shirt since the Form Athletic days. The guy, I believe, could clinch with God himself and slam him to the floor. You know, to me, I'll be real now, right? Daniel Cormier's got a real solid base in wrestling. You know, if he manages to get his arms locked around you, and he might be able to do some damage. But my problem is this: John Jones will soften him up from range, but John Jones is the master at initiating clinch. His limbs are too long. He will clinch and will grab. He will get hold of his wrist and complete a lock on Cormier way before Cormier ever does. He'll get the underarms, and then John Jones will have that base where he will trip him. His long legs will wrap around his legs, and the clinch game of John Jones will destroy Daniel Cormier. He'll have him on his back. The wrestler don't like being on his back, and John Jones will submit him or drop devastating elbows and do some brutal ground and pound. That's my prediction for the video. John Jones has fought excellent collegiate wrestlers like Ryan Bader before and dominated him. He's got this ego thing where he wants to beat the guy at their best game. You know, just like with Chael Sonnen, he took him down. He's been training wrestling for this fight. What he should have done against Gustafsson was trained in wrestling. Instead, he wanted to beat the guy at his best asset and strike with the dude, which he won. But it was a great fight. The guy is a beast when it comes. Even Matt Hamill was a quality wrestler, you know, and he took him down and was 12-6 or 12-6 elbows, got him disqualified, illegal downward elbows, which was a bit harsh. because some of them were legal, and he was brutalising Matt Hamill in a way. But John Jones will show his Greco-Roman clinch game is way far superior than Daniel Cormier is, in my opinion, just because of his long limbs, and it's very underrated, like Chris said. And I know what Chris said is true as well. He had him on the floor in no time at all on that stage. I know it's a official together, but someone with the wrestling instincts of Cormier will get more, and the mode he was in would have been ready to kind of to counteract that and react to that kind of shot straight away. But John Jones has tossed him on the floor. He's made many a man look like man and boy before, and he will do exactly the same with a great wrestler like Daniel Cormier. That's UK Boxing Blogger's opinion on the greatest light heavyweight in UFC history and pound for pound number one. Okay. Johnny Bones Jones.
Great stuff, a UK Boxing Blogger. You can check him out on Twitter, UK Boxing Blogger. Check him out on YouTube. He's there, and he's got a Facebook group, UK Boxing Blogger. Alright, so I'm EJ Boxing Live here, aka E-Money Bags. And so what I'm going to say, for this pick, I'm gonna go with John Bones Jones. The reason why I'm gonna go with John Bones Jones, he's fought at this weight, at a light heavyweight, and fought killers, some of the best guys at this weight, and done with them, yeah, just done with them nice. Well, Daniel Cormier on the other hand, he's coming down at this weight, and he fought Hendo. Hendo's old. Now, he hasn't really fought at this weight that long. I don't know if people haven't really thought about this, whether the weight drain or him coming down to this weight is going to be effective against a guy who's very strong at this weight and used to this weight. We don't know how it's going to affect him. And to me personally, I think Daniel Cormier is underestimating John Jones, and he's going to find out severely how you shouldn't do that. John Jones is so multi-skilled. He has wrestling background, very good. Not as good as Daniel Cormier, who's an Olympic wrestler, right? Yeah, he's around NCAA level, yeah. But he's good at so many things, and he's so long with his limbs, elbows. He can choke you out. He's just so versatile. We're always saying with Daniel Cormier, he's like a bear. He's very strong. But John Jones has dealt with very strong guys, yeah. He dealt with what's that guy? Who's that? Glover Teixeira. He's very strong. He's a very strong guy. Someone needs to mute himself because I'm getting feedback, by the way. Like getting feedback. UK blogger or someone needs to feed. Yeah, Chris needs to feed and mute himself. All right. So what I'm saying is that end of the day, yeah, is that he's dealt with people like Glover Teixeira, who's very strong. He's dealt with people like Shogun, who are very strong. All these guys are very strong guys, man. He's dealt with them, and they're very multi-talented. He's dealt with them. Some of them, right, you can arguably say, well, nor near if they're prime. Now, at the heavyweight division, it's different because people are not technically, and Daniel Cormier is small and very technical, we can get away with it. Now you're going against a guy, pound for pound, the number one pound for pound skilled guy in MMA sport. No doubt about it for me. Ben Anderson Silva at this point right now, I'm betting all the other champions right now, and I'm telling you, bro, he's gonna put on a masterclass, especially after what happened. He's lost his Nike deal because of the ruckus on stage, yeah. That he's lost his deal, and I'm telling you, bro, that must be pissing him off. And all they got this new Reebok deal in MMA, and I don't know how that's going on. There's some litigation going on. There's a lot of things going in the UFC's own thing, but I'll tell you what, man. John Jones is going to come focused, game plan, and I just think Daniel Cormier underestimated. Daniel Cormier is very good. I just think he's underestimating someone like John Bones Jones. Alright, so that's EJ Boxing Live Pick, aka E Money Bags. So what we're going to do now, we're going to open up to the panel and have a little debate, roundtable debate discussion, right? We're going to throw it out there. So Umo's the only one at the minute who's picking Daniel Cormier. So Umar and Lee, right, and Chris, right? So Umar, bring your case again, so Lee and then we can counter it. Go ahead.
All right, yeah, let me go first, considering I'm the only person backing Cormier. All right, Errol made some great points, and I'm going to piggyback off the points he made, even though he's putting them in favor of John Bones Jones. Like Chris said that John Bones Jones is an NCAA wrestler. Dan Cormier, like Errol said, is an Olympic wrestler. There's a difference. He's on the level of, not quite on the level of Kurt Angle. Even though people remember Kurt Angle as a WWE wrestler, he won a gold medal. So this is legit shit. He made the Olympics, Cormier. He didn't win a medal, but he made the Olympics as a wrestler. So that legitimizes his skills. He's on a level above an NCAA champion. And John Bones Jones, quiet as is kept, he went to a Division III college in NCAA. So he wasn't going against the best guys. So let's get that right. He was Division III wrestler. He was not going against the best guy, so his wrestling skills are nowhere near the level of Dan Cormier. And as far as the fight in Vegas, if you really peep that fight as it happened, John Bones, after whatever, I don't know what caused the fight, that's between two men, but Dan Cormier backed up and fell off the stage. So John Jones had an easy situation to get on top of him. That wasn't like he took him down. He fell off the fucking stage. What are you going to do when a man falls on top of you when you fall off the stage? So let's not read too much into that. And if you pay attention to... Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, go ahead.
My go now, yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, one, Daniel Cormier, the Chael Sanderson used to own him in every wrestling match they ever had.
Chael Sonnen. Let's get the name right.
No. Sanderson. Chael Sanderson.
There's a guy called Chael Sanderson?
No, Cael. Cael. He's like one of the best collegiate wrestlers ever.
You said Chael.
Yeah, okay. Cael Sanderson. Right. So one, he weren't even the best university come fucking collegiate wrestler out there. So he lost in the final. He's only a runner-up. Yeah, all right. He went on and done Olympic wrestling. But one, John Jones quit wrestling.
Yo, Lee, you can't do that, okay, Lee? You can't say some guy beat him in college.
Umar, you gotta let him finish his point. Umar, you gotta let him finish his point. He didn't interrupt you, Umar, so let him burn.
I want to interrupt you.
Yeah, let's go. Let him burn. Go on, UK.
He's got underrated wrestling, John Jones, right? Because he reached the level he did, but he never went on because he had a child at a young age and he quit. So he could have gone on and maybe moved himself up the wrestling rankings. And John Jones has grown from a skinny boy into a man. His limbs, and it's not the best collegiate wrestlers make the best MMA wrestling, but regardless of it, John Jones has got he's strong now. He's filled out, and his length will be like here. Daniel Cormier's wrestling is clinch based. Yeah, any good takedown you see, one, it'll be too slow to be doing a double takedown on John Jones. That'll never happen. Never have I really seen that other than in close quarters where he's dropped down and took a guy down. He normally likes to grab them underarms and pick them up and slam them around like the waist area. That's his clinch game, Daniel Cormier. John Jones will initiate that clinch, and he's got long arms, and he will get the under-over position before him every time. I guarantee you, he'll wrap his long limbs around him, and he'll wrap his legs around the back of his legs, and he'll slam his ass on the floor every time. Cormier's style of wrestling ain't the style to beat John Jones. That's my opinion. So wrestling credentials don't come into it. One, we can argue, he's got better credentials. Of course he has. One, that's irrelevant now. But two, John Jones maybe could have done, and he states this himself, he might have been an NCAA champion at university if he would have got to go through to senior year or even fucking freshman year or whatever you guys called it over there. He didn't get that opportunity because he manned up and went and looked after his kid because he got...
We call it freshman.
Yeah, freshman year, your freshman year, your first year, whatever you want to call it. Basically, he manned up and he quit school and went and looked after his kid and lived in her mum and dad's basement training as a fighter. And has done a very good job doing it. So maybe he didn't have an opportunity to embrace the grind like that.
All right, cool. Cool. Thanks for that, UK blog. Let Chris burn a bit. Chris, you got anything to say? Your take on it?
Yeah, I think. Excuse me. I think John Jones is going to beat him because he's motivated. He's talking junk to him. He says he's going to beat him worse than anybody ever beat him before. He's going to knock him out. He's going to bust his face up. So I believe John Jones. He act like he don't really like this kid, and I'm ready to see it happen.
Great stuff. I'm going to let Umar burn up the last one, and I'll finish off. Go ahead, Umar.
I mean, I what they said, what Chris said is opinionated, and what Lee said was fact-based. So I can't really argue with either one of them. Chris had good opinions, and what Lee said was fact-based. So I can't argue with that. But what I would say is that John Jones has never seen Dan Cormier. He's never seen a guy with that level of strength. Like, what you're overlooking is his just brute strength, okay? I've seen this man, Dan Cormier. He looks little. He looks small. He looks like he ain't as strong as he is. I've seen this man pick up men way bigger than him and toss them. Just flip him and toss him like it was nothing. And he's so skillful. And like I said, it goes to a lot to say. I know Lee tried to gloss over it. There's a very huge difference between NCAA wrestler and Olympic wrestler. That's like, and Chris will know this, that's like an NFL player and a college football player. Okay? Some college football players can translate to NFL, but most of them can't. And Chris knows what I mean by this. Most guys that make it to the Olympics were good in NCAA, but most NCAA guys couldn't make it to the Olympics, if you know what I'm saying. And that's just the facts of the matter. And if for Lee to gloss over that like, oh, he's just an Olympic wrestler, no, that's bullshit. I know John Jones comes from a long line of athletes. He's got two brothers in the NFL, Arthur and Chandler Jones. Both of them Pro Bowlers. Both of them great players. Arthur plays for the Baltimore Ravens. Chandler plays for the Patriots. Both of them great players. John Jones, world champion. Great players, but... Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, Ben, can I just ask you one question? I know you are pointing out very good fact. The NCAA Division 1, right? Yeah? So that's the highest you can get in collegiate wrestling, right?
Yeah.
So if Daniel Cormier finished second, yeah? And then you've got a guy like Ryan Bader who finished, I don't know, third or fourth, I can't remember the exact thing. But I know he wasn't like number one in his final year.
Hendo was Olympic.
Okay,
wrestler.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, and he was an All-American, 2-time or 3-time All-American.
Yeah, he was.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm on about Ryan Bader this time.
Yeah, I know for the fact.
But so if his wrestling credentials against John Jones and the way that Ryan Bader was undefeated in his wrestling inside the octagon would have suggested to you the only way that John Jones beat him was wild spinning attacks and that. And in that fight, John Jones made that strong wrestler like Ryan Bader, who's got much better wrestling credentials than him, and some, other than taking it on to that senior level where only a few people do it, go to Olympic level, and maybe if Ryan Bader wanted to embrace the grind, he could have probably been in that kind of level. He could have probably gone on to even try out or be a reserve on the Olympic team. He chose to go straight into MMA, but John Jones owned him in the wrestling department and threw him around like a rag doll.
That's what
before that, the wrestling credentials were saying that there's a difference. There's a mile. There's a mile.
Let Umar come in now. Go ahead, Umar.
All right, Lee's 100% right, but what he's glossing over is that you're 100% right. John Jones in that fight, John Jones finished Ryan Bader with a submission, correct?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, exactly. So his wrestling prevailed. It did. I can't deny that. I thought Ryan Bader, in my opinion, Ryan Bader would give him a lot more trouble on the ground than he did. It was crazy. But like I said, just because one guy does something and another guy does another thing doesn't mean anything. My point is this. Like I said, John Bones Jones fought at D3. Ryan Bader fought at Arizona State with Cain Velasquez at D1.
Yeah, the Arizona Wildcats, yeah.
Exactly, bro. I know my shit. He fought at D1, but he may have taken that for granted. After that, he went right, like you said. He took that right to UFC. He didn't keep progressing his wrestling skills. Dan Cormier, on the other hand, fought at D1, kept progressing his wrestling skills, and went to the fucking Olympics. And Dan Cormier, what people are forgetting, is 35 years old. He's been wrestling. Ryan Bader gave up wrestling when he was 20, 21. He just said, all right, I know enough. Dan Cormier didn't do that. Dan Cormier has been wrestling progressively, consistently since he was a fucking kid. He's 35 now. He came in MMA 5 years ago. He wrestled consistently at the Olympic level till he was 30 years old.
All right.
This is not Ryan Bader. This is not a guy. No, let me finish, Lee. This is not a guy who thought he knew everything and gave it up. This is a guy that's progressively been enhancing his skills since he was a baby up till he was 30. This is not Ryan Baderly.
All right,
This is not Ryan Baderly.
Yeah, no.
Enough. I'm gonna get my final word in, and we're gonna wrap this up because we're gonna go around in circles, right? I'm gonna tell you right now. This is mixed martial arts. Wrestling is one factor, jiu-jitsu, and we have loads of striking. And in all the other areas, let's exclude wrestling. Daniel Cormier is probably better at John Jones at wrestling, but he has to grab him first. The reach, the length of John Jones, and how dangerous he is with them elbows and kicks, yeah, is going to be a factor. I feel Cormier may be underestimated. Cormier's striking is not that good, but I'll tell you what, if Cormier grabs you, bruv, it's not nice. I can tell you that right now. But if John Jones, the 1 minute I'm talking now, let me burn. I'll let both of you burn and Chris. Like, John Jones has got serious submission with thingy. What Cormier does is hold you down and beat you up, right? Hold you down where he's on top of you. He basically, John Jones know how to number fight wrestling enough and then to get over you, and he can beat you in a various different ways. So he's multi-talented. For me, I always go with the more multi-talented guy. Chris Umar's put a great argument towards about how good he is at wrestling, and like I said to you, this is mixed martial arts. So we're gonna find out. So we're gonna close this down. Ben Umar has picked Daniel Cormier, Chris Kaban, myself, and UK Boxing Blubber are going with Johnny Bones Jones. So fight fans or UFC fans, you want to leave your comments in the comment section. So we're gonna have to catch you up on a later one. But this debate will probably rage on after we probably hold up here. So thanks for giving us your time, and we'll catch you next one. Peace.
DJ Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.
Buster Douglas knocked him out. Buster Douglas, the fat bump, the legend.
Yo, this is Chris Caban chilling with my man EJ Boxing Live, one of the hottest, dopest boxing channels on YouTube. Check him out.
The boxing beat some rounds on the EJ Live YouTube channel.
And Thea was the number 10 rated contender, and he had never been knocked down. And Sonny destroyed his mouth. But Thea lost most of his teeth, basically with 1 or 2 left hooks.
Oh shit, boy! What was look at kids sleeping like Manny Pacquiao?
DJ Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.